Hi, I'm Rabbi Daniel Epstein, and I'm filming today for Toldot from an extraordinary place here in Auschwitz-Birkenau. As we look around, we see the most extraordinary place. It is really quite something to be able to see this campsite and to understand exactly what it means to be here and to lead witness and to pay respects to those who were murdered here, 1.1 million, of which 950,000 were our Jewish brethren. So the question is, what are we going to learn about Toldot from here, from this particular place? I think what's important is to understand is that this Sedra, Rivka is told she has two nations in her womb, Shnei Goyim bevitnech. They end up growing up to be Eisav and Yaakov. Eisav, in a sense, Eisavian values, if you will, are anything but values. These are the ideas of people who want power, want strength, don't want anything else to matter to them. And that was the idea of Eisav. He always wanted strength, wanted more. He was a man of the world, a man of the physical, a man of brute strength. You'll live by the sword. This was the nature of what it meant to be Eisav. And yet Yaakov was Ishtam Yoshev Ohalim. He was a simple man, a man who lived in tents, a man who studied Torah, a man who wanted the moral life, a life of clarity, a life of understanding. And that is what the difference would be. Standing here is really quite the most extraordinary experience, because on the one hand, we are taught in our lives to make sure that the decisions we make are appropriate and correct. We follow the Torah, we follow the values that are given to us, and in this way we try to follow Yaakov, who through his life, faced with tremendous challenges, did not manage to get through all of them unscathed. We know that when he was fighting with Esav's angel, he was utterly overwhelmed in a certain sense and yet refused to give up. And he asked the very attacker, his very adversary, to not let him go until you give him a bracha. You shouldn't let me go to Varcheni, bless me. I want to draw some sort of blessing, some sort of strength, some sort of understanding from what happens and from why these tribulations come to us. And I think that is the Jewish spirit, and that is what we see here. The notion and the idea that even when we're going through the trials of life, it is the ability to extract some sort of blessing, some sort of bracha, some sort of strength from what we are going through that gives us the power to be the resilient people that we are, that have lasted thousands of years through history and will last thousands of years again through history. And it is places like this where we hear stories of incredible bravery, that despite the fact that our people were taken, katzon latevach, in some senses, like sheep to the slaughter on the one hand, but the other hand, we weren't going there without defiance, without resilience, without this idea and this notion that we can fight against the strength and the power and the need for power that the Nazis exemplified, that Eisav exemplifies, and we can move to a world of moral clarity, of moral decisions, of the correct way to engage with life, as Yaakov wanted for himself and for his family, and that we embody as the 12 tribes of Israel who have moved forward into history and have become the Jewish people who, despite the tribulations and the horrendous lives that we have had to endure in certain cases, especially in the last 2 years, the extraordinary strength and the bracha and the love and the chesed that has been enabled and enameled in these last few years has been incredible. And that is what I take with me when standing here, that we may be coming into the parsha of Toldot, but that parsha itself has messages for us. We can choose a path of Torah, choose a path of moral clarity, and choose a path of ohalim, of being embraced and covered with the tents of Torah, the tents of beauty. And please God, that will be the message that takes us through, and through these difficult weeks as we see our hostages being returned, firstly alive, and secondly with the dignified Kvurat Yisrael, with burial in Israel, especially to the family of Hadar Goldin, who had to wait these 11 agonizing years together with the people of Israel. Our people, V'shavu vanim b'gvulam, we please pray that they come to us alive, and if not, at least they should be brought home for a burial and to be with their people, and for us to be with our people. May this place only bring good memories and blessing for us for the future, and may we learn the lessons here that it is Yaakov that we emulate and not Eisav. Shabbat Shalom.